Dr. Alan Cahoon, will you please present our honorary degree candidate, Mrs. Eva Kwok?
It's unusual that we're able to celebrate two individuals during the same convocation. And I want to tell you in pride that we are able to do that because we have two uniquely, independently qualified candidates for this honor. And to be able to celebrate them coming to a convocation together is a unique feature for a university, but a reflection of the careers that both of them have had independently. And I hope, Stanley, at 85, I'm equally able to use the facilities that you are in terms of technology. I would like Eva Kwok to join me on the lectern. Eva Lee Kwok is an influential and inspiring woman. She has been a leader and mentor in education and industry, and is one of our country's most powerful advocates for women in business. Eva was born in Malaysia and studied in Australia and in England before immigrating to Canada in the late 1960s. As a young woman, she was empowered to get an education and travel internationally, and has encouraged many others along her successful path. She inspired thousands of young minds during a prolific 20-year career at the University of Saskatchewan, before serving as president and CEO of the Saskatchewan Institute of Applied Science and Technology. In 1991, I believe, she made a seamless transition from academia to the private sector, helped a little bit by coming to live with Stanley in Hong Kong, I suspect. In the past 2 decades, Eva has established herself as one of Canada's most respected business leaders, an authority on Canada and Asia-Pacific trade. She has also become an internationally renowned advocate for female leaders in business and for increased corporate transparency and governance. Building on her ongoing leadership of Amara International, Eva serves as a director of the Li Kai-sheng Foundation of Canada, Husky Canada, CK Life Sciences, and Chung Kong Infrastructure, one of the world's largest infrastructure organizations. Throughout her career, Eva has served as a key member of more than 30 corporate and nonprofit boards. While focusing on her corporate appointments, she has been a mentor to countless young business leaders in Canada and abroad. Eva continues to be committed to promoting leadership and innovation in education, business, and social organizations. For her noteworthy contributions to building bridges between Canada and Asia and advocating for women in business, Royal Roads University is proud to present Eva Lee Kwok for the honorary degree Doctor of Laws.
Mrs. Eva Kwok, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Royal Roads University Act, and in accordance with the recommendation of the Board of Governors of Royal Roads University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto appertaining. Dr. Kwok will now be hooded by Dr. Stephen Grundy, Vice President Academic and Provost. President Alan Cahoon will now present Dr. Kwok with her degree.
Your degree is back here. I didn't tell you the last time, but this is your citation.
It is with pleasure that I now call on Dr. Kwok to deliver her convocation address.
Chancellor Nicholson, President Cahoon, Board of Governors, Deans, faculty, graduates of 2012. Sorry I can't see your smiling faces. It's all dark out there, but I know you're there. Families, administrative staff at the Royal Roads have worked so hard to make this day so special for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Cahoon, for those very generous words. I think they're overly generous. As I mentioned last night at the reception for us, which was wonderful, wish you could all be there, I was really hesitant in accepting this honor, as I feel that others are far more deserving than I am. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Nevertheless, I'm deeply honored today and really humbled standing here to receive this very prestigious award. Thank you, Board of Governors. Thank you very much. Today is a very special day. Congratulations, graduates, parents, and partners. A special welcome to all our graduates who've flown all the way internationally. I hear from Australia, from where I was. Those Australians, are there anyone here? No? Oh, maybe they decided to stay home. Anyway, from other countries to attend this graduation. Congratulations to all of you. What a proud and exciting moment for each and every one of you. I also want to take this opportunity now to congratulate my dear husband, Dr. Kwok. Please savor this moment, not only for this prestigious award, but one of the rare times when you had the opportunity to speak first. At least certainly in our household. This prestigious award is really less about me, rather to honor those who played a role in making who I am today. So to those individuals, past and present, I owe a deep gratitude. Allow me now to share with you just a few events of my life and something I passionately believe in. Don't forget, I only have 8 minutes. Now I only have 7 minutes, 6.5 minutes, so bear with me. Well, something that I feel very passionately about is the fact that all about good moral values and ethics. And I think today, ever more than before. And I'll get into that in a minute. But just to give you a bit of a background of who I am, what I'm about. I was born into a culture and at a time when children were sometimes seen, only sometimes seen, but should not be heard. We have our special guest here, Dr. Tan and Grace Tan, and he will appreciate that because while I'm older than they are, but we came from that culture. Children are to be seen, never heard. At the age of 12, my parents shipped me unaccompanied to a boarding school in Australia. I was a mousy, timid, insecure kid that barely opened my mouth. But look at me now. According to my husband, I'm like a fishmonger's wife who talks nonstop. It goes to show with the right environment and encouragement, you do blossom, but maybe in my case, a little bit too much. While I owed a great deal to my parents, who taught me that good manners are very important, it was really my Australian guardian who gave me the foundation to be who I am today. She instilled in me, and most important of all, led by example, and it's the word led, that you can be anything you want to be, regardless of gender or color, but always be respectful of others around you. I also learned from her that having good moral values matters. In fact, it defines who you are. As I evolved, I found that living with integrity, compassion, kindness, thoughtfulness, and like the eminent chancellor said, courage, and most of all, trustworthiness. These are the true keys to success, not financial wealth or status. Over the years, I've met and/or worked with some very successful individuals. However, on occasions, some so absorbed in chasing their dream of great success that arrogance slowly creeps in and they lose their moral compass along the way. A suggestion I have for all of you graduates is as you climb the ladder of successes, always make sure you have a few trusted friends around you to bring you down to earth every now and again. I do that to my husband all the time. And he defines this as nagging. Don't be surrounded by apple polishers, tempted as it is, who says you're just wonderful in everything I do. If this happens too frequently, you might get into a situation where the emperor has no clothes. Surround yourself with people with different ideas that are not afraid to challenge your ideas, but always, of course, with respect. While good values and ethics are important qualities to have, so is having a sense of humor. This is especially so during challenging times. When I first became president of a Canadian academic institution, I wasn't going to mention the name, but Dr. Kuhn had mentioned it already, so I suppose you know it was SIAS. Within 6 months, I was there. All the faculty and staff, province-wide, went on strike. Other than very uncomplimentary cartoons of me in the press, one was the face of a Christmas goose on a platter. Actually, it was a fat goose. Another of me as a puppet with very knobbly knees and a big fat chest. But that wasn't it. One day I got home to find that my whole garden was covered with manure. My reaction to those involved in this was to thank them for fertilizing my lawn. Actually, my trees and bushes did flourish very well for the rest of the year, and next, it saved me a lot of money. The gardener was very happy. The ability to laugh and to respond with wit and humor, especially during challenging times, often gives one the strength to move on and to develop with self-confidence. When times get really tough, I always remind myself one thing. As long as I'm alive, there will always be the next day where there will be another opportunity to make things better. I have on many occasions had run-ins on the corporate boards I served. During that time, most of the boards I served, I was the only woman. It was sometimes through quick wit and a sense of humor that I managed to turn initial unfriendly responses to ultimately warm friendships. I remember during one of the earlier board appointments, I was late for the board meeting. At that time, I was living in West Vancouver, and those of you who know Vancouver knows that if there's an accident on the Lionsgate Bridge, you're stuck. That's it. You've got nowhere to go but sit there patiently. Well, it happened to me the very first morning of this board meeting, my first board appointment when I came to BC. So, because of the accident, I was 30 minutes late. I had planned to be there 15 minutes early. Anyway, when I entered the boardroom, there were no smiles of welcome. Rather, a very senior board member, known for his brashness and male chauvinism, glared at me and said, "You're late. I want you to remain. If you want to remain on this board, you must be here on time." End of conversation. I, of course, apologized and explained what happened, It fell on deaf ears. So then I decided, how do I handle this? So I said with a smile, yes, for all future board meetings, to make sure I don't get caught in such traffic predicaments again, I would check into the Four Seasons Hotel downtown the night before, order champagne with room service, and submit the bill to the company. Then I'll be in good shape for future meetings. That just broke the ice. Some of the board members laughed, and from that day on, this brash, chauvinistic board member and I became good friends, such that for his retirement speech years later, he referred to me as his favorite girlfriend. But note, he didn't refer to me as his favorite board colleague. So I guess I failed somewhat in totally educating this poor man. As I began to move up the hierarchy of leadership positions, one of the most difficult skills, and yet essential, I had to learn was to, again, what the eminent chancellor said, have courage. Courage and confidence to stand up to what I firmly believe in was right, even though I may be the only lone person with the same views. At the same time, it's okay to say you believe in something, but you also had, as a leader, have to develop the skills to persuade my cynics and distractors, there were many, the value of the action needed, so that everyone can work as a team. I remember when I was made dean at the university, my mandate, my only mandate, was to close down the oldest college in Canada 3 years from the day I became dean. I had to make this traumatic announcement at my very first faculty meeting. I have never to this day forgotten the sight of my faculty members whose smiles immediately turned to anger, rage, and shock. Very understandable. It was a very lonely 3 years. I needed every ounce of tenacity, humor, and resiliency to live this out. However, what kept me going was the firm belief that that was the right thing to do. Looking back today, the closure of the college was indeed the right decision. But I have to admit, it took a lot of soul-searching and patience. Sometimes adversity, even though no one wishes for, can be an opportunity. When you overcome adversity, you become stronger and develop more confidence that you're able to handle life's challenges. You also develop much more compassion and empathy for others. Every negative encounter is a learning experience with the right attitude. So graduates, again, my congratulations. I wish I could see all these smiling faces. Go forth, pursue your many dreams you must have. But remember, values and ethics does matter. I end this quote from Theodore Roosevelt. To educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this moment with you. Thank you.
We have a slight change in the program. I'd like Dr. Kwok and Dr. Kwok to come back to the podium, please. Mr. President, will you please confer them their degrees? What they received was the citation. That was a new thing this year, so we're giving the real thing. Now they have two things to take home.